Alright guys, this is something different for me, I know, but I do play other decks. I don't play Dark Magician. This is the deck I play seriously at locals, which isn't very often, but I probably going to start playing it more because I kind of want to go to more regionals this year than I did last year. And I kind of want to do well, so I'm going to be playing Invoked Dogmatica Branded. A couple things I want to premise in this list. There is no Bestial cards because they take up a lot of space, and I don't want to buy Lebellion because like $80 US right now, something like that. Also, there is no pot cards. I don't own Extrav. Well, I do, but I can't find mine. Also, I don't own Prosperity. So feel free to cut whatever you like in this deck for the most part and play a pot card or play Bestial stuff. But for now, this is what I'm on. I did 3 test matches earlier today against my Brother Sword's Hold deck. I went 2-1 in all 3 matches. So anyway, let's get into it. Move the extra deck up there, because, well, no, we'll move it over here. So to view, we'll go over each engine individually. So starting off, the Invoked engine is kind of stock standard. We are on triple Alistair. Best normal summon in Yu-Gi-Oh! Triple Magical Meltdown. Such as your Alistair, kind of basic. 2 Invocation, you really just don't need 3. And then 1 Terraforming, which serves as like an extra copy of Meltdown, which serves as an extra copy of Alistair. So you're really running 7 copies of Alistair. If Terraforming ever comes back up to 3, we'll probably play it at 3, or at least 2, just to search Meltdown and Alistair. Moving on into the Dogmatica cards. I'm on 2 Ecclesia. You could play 1 if you wanted to find space to play a pot card or another hand trap, but in testing so far, I've really liked 2. Also on 1 Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis and 1 Dogmatica Maximus. Maximus puts in a lot of work. So does Fleur-de-Lis. Maximus, good. If I would have summoned him in an attack instead of defense, I would have OTK'd my Brother Sword's Hold deck today. But, unfortunately, I did not. Also, Maximus can be kind of risky because with the new Garua or Garduda, whatever you want to call him, where is he? I'll show it. This card, and with Branded kind of making a comeback with Bestial, they'll send their Albion and get pluses off of it. So Maximus can be kind of risky, so make sure you know your matchup, and make sure if you're using Maximus, you're getting the full advantage out of it going first, which is obviously Winda, and if you're going second, send Entis. So, that is the Dogmatica monsters. Getting on into the Dogmatica spells, we'll cover up part of our Maximus here. Triple Nadir Servant. Really like that Nadir's at 3. I'm not playing Punishment. Punishment to me seems like a win more type of card, and I don't want locked out of the extra deck. So, that's that, and the one trap I am playing for the Dogmatica package is the 1 Shaddoll Schism. On a stock standard and invoke lists, because you want to make Winda turn 1 if you're going first, which is kind of easy if you open Nadir and Meltdown, or Nadir and Branded Fusion, which I am also playing. So, that's the Invoked Dogma stuff. We'll move on into the Branded and Board Breakers now. Alright, so for the Branded package, we are on 2 Albats. You can play 1. 1 works okay, but even in Branded, or even in Invoked, I kind of prefer 2. But you could definitely get away with playing 1. The second one doesn't come up a super large amount. But you can come up, which is why I'm on it, and I have the space because I don't really have pot cards to play. So, triple Branded Fusion. I will say if you don't want to play the Branded package, substitute this for a Dasher and a Celestial, and this to be 3 Fusion Destiny, so you get the DPE package. Which also frees up space in your extra deck. Then moving on to the Board Breakers, nothing really to talk about. And then with just 1 staple card is 3 Forbidden Droplets, the only Board Breaker, and I am on because it kind of goes to Branded stuff. 1 Called by the Grave. Droplet, just insanely good. If you don't own Droplet, substitute this for Dark Ruler or Chalice. It'll be fine in most cases. But really like Droplet. Like the Branded package. Called-wise, just generic. Helps protect your Alistair as well from Imperm. Not Imperm, but Valor, Ash, and that stuff. So, moving on into my hand trap lineup. Alright, hand trap wise, I am on triple Ash. You could play 2 because Ash doesn't really do a whole lot this format if you wanted to play 2. I'm on 3 because at locals and to a lesser extent regionals, but kind of the same, you don't know what you're going to play. You might see a random rogue deck where Ash is very strong. So, Ash good card because it's very generic. The other hand trap you could play 2 of if you wanted to play another one is Effect Veiler. So you could easily bump both of these down to 2 and play another 2 of hand trap if you wanted to. Veiler, generic. Veiler and Nibiru can win you the Sword Stone matchup. You could obviously... Nibiru and Veiler's good. Like, you all know that. It can also kind of help you win against Sprite and or Tier Limit. So, Sprite does have to respect the Nibiru. So, our main deck in Nibiru, you could side it, but I prefer it in the main. Now, this is the I Don't Own DD Crow package of 2 Ghost Spell. I would probably cut Ash or Veiler, the 2, and this, like, out of the deck if I owned DD Crow. But I do not own it, so... And I don't really want to spend $30 on a playset of DD Crow. Despite it being a very good card, I think I'm going to wait for the price to drop maybe when the format changes or they just reprint it for like the 50th time. Final hand trap on. I'm on triple Nibiru. Another reason why you could cut Veiler to 2 is because Imperm is like a better Veiler. So this is my hand trap lineup. I think I'm on 14. Yeah, 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. So feel free to change these for your locals. If there's decks at your locals that search a lot, you could argue maybe you want to main deck a couple copies of Droll. I am siding Droll right now, but if you wanted to, you could main it. It's like, I thought about maining it and just cutting Ash and Veiler, the 2 apiece, just to have like a really diverse hand trap lineup. But for now, this is what I'm on. I might do that, or if I buy DD Crows, I might just do that anyway when DD Crow and Bell. But for now, this is what I'm on. Let me know what you think about this, and we will move on into the extra deck. Alright, getting into the extra deck, we are on 2 Mecha, but you could argue that you could play 1. For now, in testing, I do like 2. You just definitely do not need 3. 2 is by far, for me, the right ratio. You could also play Agodes and Purgatrio. But the extra deck is kind of tight for me right now, especially in testing. So I'm not playing either one of those. If I had to play either or, I'd play Agodes just because they can't respond to the pop effect on their Meltdown. But moving on into the branded package. We are on 2 Albion. Now, you could honestly cut this to 1 and play Agodes or Purgatrio if you want. I still tend to find 2's pretty good. We're on 1 Rebellion because we're not on a whole lot of darks, so this works out really well. There is a combo where if you open Branded Fusion and Invocation, and you have a light discard, he comes up a lot, and can help you make Mechaba and Mirror Jade. So, I might show that in a combo video if this video does well. Not really sure how well it will do. And we are also on the 1 Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade is like a pseudo secondary boss monster. I've honestly thought about playing 2 just because Mirror Jade's cracked. And it's not really hard to make a second one, but with 3 Branded Fusion, this is kind of the package I'm going on. I don't want to play a super heavy Despia engine. But anyway, moving on into our Nadir targets. We'll play 1 Outer Entity Nittis, 1 Titaniclad, the Ash Dragon, and we are playing 1 Garua. Garua turns Nadir into like an engage. It searches and draws a card. So it works out fairly well with that. Titaniclad and Entis are self-explanatory. Moving on into the Shaddolls. We are on 1 Construct, 1 Apgalone, and I can't find my Winda. So this is my Dragoon flipped over in my sleeve. So this is El Shaddai window. I can't find mine. I was proxying it. It wasn't at a local, so it was perfectly legal. So, just playing for fun with my brother. Then we're on a very small link package of 1 Artemis. And then we are on Almirage and Secure Gardener. And you might be like, Miro, why are you not playing Purgatrio if you're playing Almirage? It's because this helps set up your Maximus better than just playing Artemis. So this goes into this, which sets up Maximus. This sets up only Mechaba, which is fine if you obviously don't have Nadir or Ecclesia to search out your Maximus. But that's the extra deck. I'm not really going to show off my side because, again, it's kind of locals dependent. But let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next video. And if this does well, I will do more Invoked stuff, and peace.